I'm Jason Klamm, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. Hi, everybody. It's Jason Klamm with the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. I don't know the year of this album. Please don't hate me. The artist is Tubby Boots. The album is Goes Topless, and my guest is Jenny Zigrino. Thank you very much. So, you picked a crazy album, and that's that.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Oh my God, you picked it's one of those. Oops, and I've been listening to a comedy album a day for the whole year now. And even though I'm a little bit behind, you do hear there are these artists who do kind of street jokes.
It's very street. It's very borscht belt street. Like I'm here to be funny.
Now, but this seems like this is one that you didn't pick because it was necessarily an influence, but you found it in an estate sale. You said.
So I love to go to estate sales, and I love to I love antiques. I love old shit. So, can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah,
okay, great.
Absolutely.
So, I remember I was going through this Dead Woman's Records, and I saw the cover, and I was like, "What the hell is this?
It's insane.
It's a crazy, especially of that time to see that." And I was like, "This is crazy." So I picked it up, and it the copy I have is autographed to the woman that died. And I didn't have a record player for years, so I just had it.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, like sometimes you see those things and you're like, one day.
Of course.
And then I got a record player and I listened to it and I was just like, this is so. It's it's an interesting piece of comedy history.
Yes. Okay.
It's
I will agree with that.
Yes,
100%.
I am not influenced by it.
Right.
Except that it is a ridiculous like the forgotten soldiers of comedy.
Yeah. That is actually super important. It's one of those things where one time I went. There's a gentleman named Jeff Abraham who's a publicist.
Yeah.
And I went to his place, and the man has 5,000 comedy records, and a number of them are local, kind of like Tubby Boots style. And he's like, let's listen to some selections. And I would say 99% of them are horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as far as these are not polished, but they had been doing the circuit forever.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to respect they kept going at the very least.
Well, it's also because I started in Boston, and we have a lot of those comics who are not great, but on the circuit and just doing it over and over and over again. And you admire the chutzpah.
Of course you do.
Of them. And then also Tubby Boots is I think he's Jewish, right? He was Jewish. He did a lot of Jewish jokes. And then I'm pretty sure he was a closeted homosexual.
I was wondering that myself.
I'm pretty sure because I think I did some research on him.
Okay.
When I first did it, and he definitely was, and or he was a little more free or something. I don't know. I think he's and then I don't know, just the cover and what he just from the research I've done. He seems like he should have been on that vaudeville burlesque. He's a burlesque guy. For sure.
Yeah. I feel like we should describe the cover. Tubby Boots, who, if I'm not mistaken, his parents were in.
500 pounds.
He's a very large man, and he's wearing a Roman helmet and very large pasties to cover his very large man breasts.
He has very large man titties. And he has those. He has a tan line where he's clearly been wearing a bra.
Absolutely does. Why that didn't occur to me until just now, that's amazing.
He's clearly been wearing a bra and sunbathing.
Yeah.
And he's got on these star tassels. And then he has this incredible what is it called? Moose hoof? Is that what you call it?
That's one of, that moose knuckle.
Moose knuckle.
Also,
incredible.
Yeah.
It's an extra butt on the front. If you okay, look, I'm gonna cover his top. Doesn't it just look like a butt?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And they're purple shorts, and I forget. There's some kind of weird thing on it.
I know if I saw this at an estate sale, I would hate myself if I didn't buy it. Yeah. To at least find out.
Also, guys, it's for the mature-minded adults.
That is good. That is good to keep in mind.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, because it's a lot of a colored fella did this Jap did that. It's whoa. holy shit. Like I feel like it's worth listening to these if you want to know what, like, I don't want to say small time, but like local comics were like, you know?
Local, and then also just in general, like that stuff was considered funny back then.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, he's getting laughs, you know?
Yeah, he gets consistent. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
it was like a, wow. He was the Dave Chappelle of his time.
Right.
It was consistent.
And a second ago, we were actually talking about Rusty Warren, and I've actually heard Rusty Warren do jokes similar to what I've heard here, but she has a little more maybe panache, maybe a little more. So he's not rough, though. There's something about his delivery that is charming, and I don't know what that is.
I think he just kind of has that that his speech patterns are just like, very like, ha, listen, boys. Yeah, this woman, she came up to me and she said, nobody will fuck me. I'm just an ugly bitch. And I said, well, maybe you should turn around and try something. It's just
yeah. And he's like, he gets pretty vile. But he also does this weird thing in between jokes, I noticed, where it's like he does these old his shtick is like saying, I got a crazy life. And then the next joke has nothing to do with his life at all. It's just another street joke.
Yeah.
It's this weird, like, not an ounce of, like, he doesn't seem to be trying in terms of that. Like,
no.
Where somebody like yourself, like, you could hear that when you're young, but if you hear that, I don't even think as a young person, like just starting out, would you be like, oh, well, maybe there's something here I could learn from. I don't think anybody now... Right? I mean...
Yeah. I really wish there was a way to, like, so people could see photo, like, this, like, look at this. This photo is he's wearing...
Oh, my God.
He's wearing, like, a whole cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
like a whole cheetah, the thickest glasses you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And his hair is blonde, like, blonde.
Mm-hmm.
With bangs. Like, this guy... this guy exists in Silver Lake somewhere.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, he does.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. Do you? Are there other albums like this that you've found and been intrigued by, and also then gotten the opportunity to listen to?
I just like to be able to like collect old comedy albums, and then what I do is I get them, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it, and then I just listen to one record over and over again. So right now, I've been listening to. I started buying up more Prince albums after he died, so I've just been focusing on that.
Okay.
And then like I'll put on I have like a Woody Allen record that I would like put on in the background. Sure. Still conflicted.
Yeah, it's real
really
hard.
We shouldn't be, but
yeah.
And
yeah, I mean it's not Bill Cosby, but it's not Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you're like, I got rid of my Bill Cosby record.
Yeah. No, my wife wants me to do the same. I'm trying to come up, either I get rid of them or I do a really upsetting art piece with them, and I've considered a really upsetting art piece.
I mean, it's that whole thing of like, do you judge the artist on their art or who they are as a person?
Right. Yeah. Well,
and I mean, he's a horrible person who should die.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But he was funny.
He was absolutely very funny. He was very funny. No, there's no doubt about it. But then your brain's like, oh, well that same person was doing this stuff as they're telling these amazing jokes, and it's like, oh, well, then I guess they're infecting me. Like, that's how I feel. I feel so infected by it, and I don't like... Whereas at the same time, fuck it. If Tubby Boots wants to tell his dumb racist shit for, like, an hour, I'll take that over that. At least admit to me what kind of a crazy person you are.
And then also, like, I think it's interesting, too, like, with these older comedy albums, is do you judge what was normal at the time, like those racist jokes, against what we... say now, like for example, Blazing Saddles,
sure,
funniest movie ever made, could never be made now,
right,
but this is a weird time for comedy.
It is,
because times like when it's times like this, it should be the best time for comedy, like when the 80s had the boom and Reagan and stuff, and it was just like that was the time. But now it's like, this should be the great time for boom. And then it also has this thing of like, but don't bother anybody. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that pressure come down on you as a comedian, do you think?
Sometimes it's just like that knee jerk, like, oh, I want to do this. Don't tell me what to do.
Sure.
And then you're like, well, mean, it'll probably make me a better writer if I'm not going for that easiest thing. Like,
Sure.
Like for when I first started, like if you were to look at what I did year 1 and 2, I did jokes about homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
I did jokes about, did I do anything really that terrible? I mean, I think I just kind of did like that. Oh, like the, that classic, like at least I don't have herpes or like whatever that thing is. And now I'm like, man, that's so stupid. Like that is stupid, and there's no reason you should bring someone like the whole like, oh, he's like a homeless person or anything like that, because it's, they can't defend themselves. It's disparaging, or like, just making fun of someone or a group of people for something they can't control or whatever it is. Sure. So now I try to stay away from that, and I think that for a lot of people, maybe they haven't come to that conclusion themselves. So having people tell them that makes them like, oh, sure, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah, no, I've gone through that. I completely get that too.
Yeah,
I understand that.
You can't tell me what I'm supposed to not say.
Right. Yeah.
And then they come to it and they're like, oh yeah, you're right.
Right. And it's like, especially if it's somebody like me who like I used to, well, no, I still do, but like the thing I used to concentrate on was like writing satire, and like so I can hide behind, oh, it's ironic. No. You can hide behind that real easy. And then I would just be, oh, no, you have to kind of be really careful with what's actually. Because then nobody knows it. If you mean what you're saying, it becomes problematic. And, like, it's not the same as censorship. I mean, but I do understand that's got to be a pain in the ass, especially when you're performing in front of an audience of people. Does it come from the audience, or does it come from other comics that you think you get most of that kind of feedback? Like, don't do this joke.
I'm definitely the audience. The audience will shut down right away.
Yeah. Okay.
And even yesterday, I was working out some jokes about trolls, and I was just repeating things that were said, have been said to me that are awful. And even in that, people were like, "Ooh, really? I don't want to hear that." And
that's weird.
It's hard because then it's like, well, but I'm just telling you something that someone said to me.
Sure, yeah.
And you're still bothered by it, but is it a bother of like they're offended, or is it just like the word, hearing that word is more, my friend says it more incites empathy versus like, oh, how dare you?
Right.
They're just like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Someone said that to her.
I mean, it's all about context. It is weird to me if somebody would be that offended if you're trying to tell. The whole point of this is like you're trying to tell your story, or at least a version of your life, Yeah. That's interesting to me.
I mean, also, too, though, with the older comedy albums, they're not doing the telling their life
No,
thing.
that was my next thing. Is like Tubby Boots is not like there are one or two things where it's like.
So I call it in a Jap and they all, and then a Jew and you're like, oy.
And then I also do want to, me and my wife doesn't totally ring entirely true.
Well, I'm like,
like,
no one's touching you. No one's fucking you. Come on, bro.
The weirdest thing to me is so I tried to research him.
Yeah.
The only place I found like an extensive article was on Wikipedia in German. Wikipedia. It's not on English language like Wikipedia. And it's like, okay, cool. I'll translate it. There are a bunch of mistakes on it. Not just translation mistakes, but some weird editing things. But also, supposedly his mentor was Lord Buckley. Now, have you heard Lord Buckley's work?
No.
A genius, like a voice switcher and like a beat poet and like just an insane, not this at all. Lord Buckley, definitely worth listening to. I actually don't know why I don't own any of his albums, but they're very easy to find. Like you go to Atomic on Magnolia right now, and I know they've got at least 2 of them.
Is his first name Lord?
That's what he calls himself. He went by Lord Buckley. And fascinating, like very interesting. Not necessary, not always, not immediately. Definitely not as, let's say, as accessible as Tubby Boots. Tubby Boots is like. Setup punch. I like literal setup punch. Like, here's this thing that I was in a cab the other day, and this colored fella did da 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 da. Sorry, I just keep saying it because the stuff stands out when you hear the words.
You can't. Because the other ones sound. You can't say the other ones. They're just real bad.
Oh yeah, no, they're rough.
They're real. Lord Richard Buckley.
Yeah, he's definitely worth listening to. He's brilliant, very brilliant, and it's just shocking to me that this man who did the hipster, like that hipster in that terms. In those terms of the 50s, the hipster version of, oh my God, what is Julius Caesar's speech.
Yeah.
So he does this hipster version of it, and it's beautiful. Like 5 minutes of just hipster speak. And he's this artist, and that he is Tubby Boots' supposed mentor blows my mind.
Maybe you're not.
That's like saying Picasso was a
wrong.
mentor to, now I can't shit on any other
Yeah,
art.
but
You know what I'm saying?
Like, look, I shook Dave Chappelle's
What did I
hand
just
at a
do?
show one time, and I could be like, Dave Chappelle mentored me.
Yeah, that's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, back then, we talk so much about self-promotion now, and I would imagine that it was much more important to, be like, this guy. Although Lord Buckley, still kind of like an underground name, so it's weird to pick that. It's very strange to me. I can't figure it out.
I mean, look, was he New York? I think he was New York.
Again, there's so
Tubbs.
little information about him
Tubbs,
online.
come on.
He's such a small comic. Like, that's what the trouble. Like, if I find any of these other people, all I find is like one local article about him.
Yeah.
And maybe something is like, oh, and they're survived by their blah blah blah, and that person is dead too. So there's
he was the premier dirty comic.
Yeah. This sounds like it's supposed to be a party record, and I would imagine that was the appeal.
So what would a party record just be, like a comedy record you put on at a party?
Yeah, which is something I kind of want to do again to see if it would
everyone
work.
just sit around and listen to it?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody today would have the patience.
No, I mean, I feel bad. Sometimes I even have little patience for, like, listening to records.
Sure.
To records, like, the old comedy, because I still love it. Like, I have Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner's 2,000-Year-Old Man, which is, I really love putting that on. Not necessarily that the jokes, I'm like, these are hilarious. Like, I know they're funny.
Sure.
It's not my style of humor, but I think I just get, like, a really warm, like, excited feeling when I listen to that stuff.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, this brings back memories I don't have. This brings back nostalgia I didn't exist in, but I like it.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But then, so a lot of the party records, though, were super filthy. Because I think they were just like, you could, I don't know if they were meant, honestly, to be in the background and like, oh, did he just say a filthy word? And that stands out. I don't know.
Yeah. Who was, okay, so, oh my gosh, what was there? I always saw these party records at Amoeba. And there's this one particular comedian, I can't remember his name, but he was Dolomite.
Oh my God. Yep. Good question. Hold on.
And he has the most fun names for his albums. And they're just like pictures of him like with a naked lady, like eating pussy.
Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about. Give me 1 second. Because my first thought was only because of the name. Rudy Ray Moore. There we go, Rudy Ray Moore. Yes, and I forget often that he was Dolomite. But yeah, those albums are the filthiest covers. The filthiest. With
it's
naked
just like
ladies
a bunch of naked ladies, him eating a pussy. And I'm like, oh, good for you.
Literally, this one's called What a Big Piece of Meat. That's the name of it. The Rudy Ray Moore album, Eat Out More Often, is the name of it.
Yeah.
It's just so, and I haven't listened to them. I've never, but that's 100% a party album. Like late in the game too.
That is so. See, that's to me is like if my friends and I go out and we see, I'm trying to think, like we see Sarah Silverman, right? And she's talks a lot about vagina.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't know if it would be considered like that kind of dirty, but it's dirty. But then I feel like then to me to like have a bunch of friends over and just be like, let's listen to this filthy album about eating pussy. I would just be like, this is weird for everybody,
it'd be super
right?
weird, right? And I maybe it's just like normally we'll sit around and we'll listen to Bob Newhart, but like let's be a little dangerous. Maybe we're used to dangerous being everywhere. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I feel like and it's like. It's almost it's a different kind of filthy too. That while I appreciate it, it's still also like tons of like sexism and misogyny in it.
Yep.
Which as if it was me, like I look at it with my modern eyes, and I'm sitting there listening to that with a bunch of people, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Of
course.
But back then, women are like, "Ooh."
Right.
I wish my husband would try that on me. When he's not working late at the office or whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's one of those things I was talking to my wife about after I listened to it was just like saying it's obvious that most of these comics, they're not, well, at least it's obvious to me, it wasn't obvious to her, that most of these comics are not giant racists, giant bigots, but like they know it's going to get the fucking laughs because they know their audience is, well, quite possibly bigoted, and they know they're going to laugh no matter what. Like, and they're drunk as fuck. So they know the easy laughs, which is like, that's what's weird to me, maybe because I'm too used to like being up my own ass about talking about comedy, but like, I don't know, maybe that is too high-minded about it in perspective. I have a cat who won't stop meowing.
Oh, I love that cat. I feel like, okay, so someone like Tubby Boots, right, who clearly closeted and in that burlesque vaudeville world, you know, I'm sure that he was much more accepting and nicer to women than the things he would say on stage.
Sure.
And especially there was probably a whole other world of, you know, of homosexuality and drag and trans and like all this stuff that, you know, existed, but it was just so undercover and so secretive. So, I mean, if he was in that world, clearly he has to like completely change who he is to like be on stage at like, you know, in the Catskills. Yeah. Entertaining a bunch of like dinner parties, like late night, you know, Cohens and Levies.
Right.
And we're just like, what did he say? Who's this fat woman on stage?
Yeah, I do have to wonder if anybody was thrown because he's a little androgynous. He's pretty androgynous until he starts speaking.
He's wearing a giant cheetah in one. It's pretty clear where this guy is. It's like, what was that actor? Because I was on Hollywood Squares, and he was clearly just the gayest uncle.
Oh my God. People are going to hate me because it's not Charles Nelson Riley. It is the other one. And that sounds really homophobic.
And he had that really high-pitched voice, and he talked like this. Like,
yep. Oh my God. Why? Of course, I'm on the spot, and I can't remember.
I wonder if there's like any kind of like I would love to see like a documentary or something about like, you know, like almost like the gays we allowed to exist on TV.
I know,
or
it's fascinating,
in like
right?
the 50s and 60s, because clearly that was the stereotype. But it was like everyone was just like, oh, they're just weird.
Yeah, right.
They're just a bachelor.
I know. Paul Lind, by the way, that's
Paul
his
Lind.
name. It was I had to look it up, but yeah, him and Charles Nelson Riley, which is why I said the other one, is because they're the only two guys who are like clearly gay.
Yeah.
And like not hiding it. But also like you couldn't say it outright, I guess.
Yeah, you just had to like little shifty eye and be like, hey.
It's so fucked up.
That's like the thing too with Mom's Mabley, where you know who she was backstage, and like everyone knew. They're just like, oh yeah, that's just she's Mom, quote unquote.
Right.
But we all know that she's, you know, loving ladies out there.
Right. You know, and it's so funny as you bring that up now, and I had kind of forgotten that piece of information, which sheds a little light onto the next few albums I actually have to listen to. So that'll be fun.
Which ones are you going to listen to next?
Well, I'm only listening to women comedians for March because it's Women's History Month. Although I'm realizing I'm an asshole because that's burning through most of my female comedians.
No.
Yeah, I don't like it. So I'm going to run to Atomic and Amoeba and grab some more because I need more. I can't remember which. I only have 2 of hers, and actually I should just get more is what I need to do.
I think I have one of hers. Again, one of those ones where I'm like, I have it,
and
then I just haven't like gotten around to listening to it.
Yeah.
Because I also want to like sit and really like listen to them because like I like listening to it and then analyzing the jokes and like why that was funny and how that hit, and just like more studying the record. But sometimes I just like want to cook eggs.
Sure.
And like listen to some noise in the background.
Right.
So I'm gonna hunker down and like really give all my old records a listen.
It's hard. I mean, I'm behind. I'm like 3 weeks behind on this album a day thing. Like I'm about to do a video where I'm like, hey, by the way, here's the last 15 I listened to make up for time. Like it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
But like I completely understand what you're saying. Like I'm not a comedian. I'm an actor. I'm a writer and stuff. I write comedy, but like not a stand-up. So I'm interested in how you analyze comedy when you're listening to it, because I listen to it, for joke structure, probably for similar stuff. But you're listening to, I think I kind of ignore the audience reaction because I don't have to care about it.
Well, I'm listening to it for the joke structure. You know, I'm like an example, like a Bob Newhart album. I think I have one. But like, I'm listening to him for the structure. I'm listening to his voice. I'm listening to the way he says things. And then, I think, too, is I'm listening to the audience's reaction and what the person said, like, how the reaction to it was, and then the historic, to me, like, the historic, like, placement of that. Like, what is that in history? How that was considered funny, or that was considered racy, or that was considered whatever it was back in, like, 1964. Or whatever album I'm listening to. So I like to go a little, like, I have a couple more layers into what I'm listening to, so that's why I feel like, for me, I'm like, it's not going to be enjoyable. We're going to be like, oh, just going to relax. I'm like, I'm going to, like, sit
it's
and
homework.
Listen. Yeah, it's homework.
It's a little bit of homework.
Yeah.
I mean, I will at least suggest, and I can send you if you need them. I have most of Rusty Warren's albums, and she's interesting to listen to, if only because you can hear her develop over her 12 or 13, however many albums she had.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So many, and like, just to listen to this lady who was, it seems like kind of ordinary now, like that a woman would be talking about sex. That's all she's talking about. She's just talking about, hey ladies, we all like sex, right? She doesn't even say we like to get fucked. She's like, we like sex, right? I know there's that dirty word. And then she'll do a little song about sex, and like, it's so innocent, but like, she had like an audience of housewives who didn't talk about sex with their husbands, who didn't talk about sex at all, who were told they weren't allowed to think about it half the time. And like, she's talking about this shit and getting to the psychology of it without even giving up the ghost about it. She just seems like she's just doing this goofy fun show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, she's one of my favorites, and also she's just kind of, I don't know, she's kind of brilliant. She's also still around.
Why
she's
is
awesome.
she not like, I mean, I actually just heard about her because my friend had gone to a documentary screening of like women in comedy, of like a thing about female comedians. And I guess I've never heard of her before.
Yeah, right.
So I'm wondering, like, what, we've all heard of like Phyllis Diller and Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
So why not her?
Well, my theory, based on talking to her, because I interviewed her a while back, and she said, yeah, Johnny Carson wouldn't let me on because he didn't like that I was dirty. And that would have catapulted her to be, she would have had her own TV show and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And I think asshole like Johnny Carson shut her down. I think that's basically what it is.
Huge dick.
Yeah, unfortunately. He's funny as hell, but unfortunately I think he was a big sexist. Oh, I know he was a sexist.
Yeah.
Like, he literally like called out Lily Tomlin for being gay, like, without saying it. He basically outed her in the shittiest possible way. Like, oh, here you're not married or some shit. Yeah, he did this on air. And the same guy did not let Rusty Warren on his show. And there's no reason not to. Yeah. I honestly, if I listen to it, I've compared that to Joan Rivers' early album, just as good. Totally different type of material, but just as good. Or like a Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller's got more energy than anybody. But I would say, like, if you want to go Joan Rivers, who was like Johnny Carson's like one woman he liked, you know, it was like, it's weird to me. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird that he just had like one woman that he liked. And you're like, why don't you just have one lady that you like appreciate?
That or starlets, you know, I mean, that's his next thing, you know. Of course, you know, he's a dirty old man, probably. I'm saying all this slanderous shit, like, it's so, like, I don't mean to just shit on a man's reputation. He obviously had a big influence, whatever. I'm saying I do think that's probably the reason that Rusty Warren doesn't have.
Isn't that crazy to think that like one person back then had control, and now it's like no one?
Sure, yeah, absolutely right. Like, you know, there's a half a chance I could get on a late night show, and I'm not even a comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I did enough promo, cool. Cat's now sitting on the Whoopi Goldberg album. That's fun. Hi, Lilu.
Lilu.
She makes appearances on the show regularly because she's the loudest one of the two.
I switch modes when animals around. I'm just like, I'll just be like, oh yeah, oh my God, there's a cat here. Hi. Today I had my dog's butt squeezed.
Oh, fun. That sounds, that must have been great for your dog. I mean, it's healthy, right? But
it's healthy. I mean, she used to get it done too much, like in an inordinate amount of time.
Does this creep its way into your stand-up act? Because I feel that's the most LA shit on the planet.
I do get my dog's butt milked. No, it hasn't yet. I think my so I share custody of Lilo, really? Wow, shade. Okay. Yep. But I share custody with my ex-boyfriend. And can you guys feel my eye roll? And he decided to take matters into his own hands and tried to milk her himself.
Oh, no. No,
and I think he broke her butt.
Oh God.
Because I came to get her and I was like, she smells horrific.
Oh, no.
And he's like, yeah, whatever. And I was
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
what did you do to her?
Oh,
And yeah, so I've had to like get her squeezed like,
oh my God, that poor thing.
once every 2 weeks. That's insane. It's too much.
Wow. I don't know how I move off of that at all. This is going to be a good. Would you? Okay, here's a question that I
Tubby
had.
boots, butt squeeze.
This has never occurred to me before, but would you consider like as just a thing? Let's say somebody's like, "Here, I'm going to give you the money to make this." Would you make a party album? Would you make like the filthiest possible thing in your style?
I'm already kind of like that.
I don't know. I mean, well, okay. I didn't get to listen to all of your new album, and I apologize for that. But I was like, it's like, okay, I can see that there's some dirty stuff, and I did not assume this was an influence. This obviously wasn't, right? But I don't know. Like, it's also well formatted comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, party albums aren't always that. Like Red Fox's first album is great. Do you know what? Not all that dirty. Everybody always says he's dirty. His first album wasn't that dirty.
Yeah.
But track to track, there's not a lot of transitions. It's literally just like it's to the point where you could have a drummer doing rim shots on the stage, that kind of shit. And I do wonder if anybody could do that now and make it funny. I feel like that's a gimmick, but I do also think somebody could do it.
I mean, I just think we listen differently now. We don't listen together anymore.
Also true.
We don't listen together. We don't really watch things together anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no one goes to the movies to watch. I mean, even if you're watching with strangers, like, I was watching Ali Wong's special, Baby Cobra, which was amazing.
I need to see that.
And I didn't laugh once, but I knew it was the funniest thing I'd seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I do.
But if I'd been there with 20 people,
100%.
oh my God.
Yeah.
We would have just laughed all day.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I feel like it really bums me out because we're just like very much isolated doing our own things and we're not going out and like, you know, I think that's why I enjoy comedy and the live aspect of it more so than I mean, I still love acting and I love movies and television and doing that stuff, but the live audience stuff is just it's so much more fulfilling.
For sure.
And I just feel like I just think that it couldn't sustain itself.
Yeah.
The like party album because no one's at parties listening to albums. You're at parties getting drunk.
It's very true.
Listening to music and making out on top of dryers and stuff.
That is true. We did not mention, by the way, speaking of what happens at parties, but there's also music on this album, which I assume is him singing. It's distant. It's just distant, and it doesn't sound like the same person. And if it is, not a bad voice at all.
I mean,
you know, I guess
a
compared,
lot of echo in that box.
That's what I'm saying. Also, yeah, it's like it's so far away. It sounds like he's in a different room singing. If it's him,
it probably was. I mean,
it's throwing me.
I'm thinking how they even like recorded this or like. I'm just like, where was this recorded?
Yeah.
What like dinner theater was this? And then he probably just like does like this, you know, just like this musical number in the middle of a show, and it's such a weird album.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is just something fun and weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
no, I'm glad you picked it again based on the weirdness, but I'm also glad that we don't have to necessarily go out of our way to say, hey, pick this sucker up. But I mean,
you don't need Tubby boots. Maybe you do want Tubby boots in your life. Also,
maybe.
What a great stage name.
It's a solid name. You know what? Let's talk about your other influences before we go, because we didn't really get too much into that. Like, who are your big comics?
My big comics. I mean, it changes a lot, but I think so the comics that started me doing stand up, not necessarily that I like anymore.
Sure.
I took a class when I was 15 doing stand up because I'd seen Dane Cook's Half Hour.
Okay.
And it was like before. Like before he blew up, it was like that Harmful if Swallowed.
Yeah.
Was it Harmful if Swallowed? I think so. Like the album cover with the green and him as a kid. It was a really weird album cover.
Yeah.
Was him but I'd always liked stand up. Like I remember, you know, like Maria Bamford's first like half hour special, which I loved. I was always like. As a kid, I was like renting Gallagher a lot. Like I don't know why, I just liked it, and like I remember, like that memory just like rushed into my brain and was like, remember you used to do this? And I was like, oh, I forgot I used to do that when I was like 6 or 7. But I always loved comedy. I loved stand up. and then I stopped because I became obsessed with Al Pacino. So I was like, I want to be a filmmaker now.
Okay. All right.
So I was like, I thought I was going to be a musician, a singer-songwriter
Mm-hmm.
for most of my teenage, young adult life. Did stand up when I was 15. Was like, this is really fun. I want to do this, but I'm 15. No one will let me go on stage at bars, so I'll stop.
Yeah.
Then I became obsessed with Al Pacino and was like, I'm going to make movies. That's what I want to do. So I went to film school, and when I was in film school...
I'm so sorry. I also went to film school.
Did you? Where'd you go?
Columbia College, Chicago.
I went to Mass Art.
Okay, so just saying.
Yeah, it's like if you guys want to get into film, just be a PA. And figure it out.
Yep.
But so then I was in London, and this was 2008, and someone showed me Russell Brand. And I was like, oh, I remember doing this.
Uh-huh.
This is really fun. I'm going to do this again.
Uh-huh.
So when I got back to the States, I did it in Boston, and then I just never stopped.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
To be fair, like, those guys just, like, pushed me into it. I wasn't necessarily that I was like, oh, they're the best. But, like,
sure, they
pushed me into it. But, like, influence as far as, like, I feel like I do a lot of story, like, more, like, fun storytelling. I like to be really fun and silly. Like, I remember... Sarah Silverman, she came out with her Jesus is Magic, and I like went to the premiere of it at the Boston Jewish Film Festival.
That's awesome. Okay.
And I remember I like met her, and I was like, what would you say to someone doing stand up? And she's like, just keep doing it. And I was like, I don't know what to do with that. Now as a comedian, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
Like that makes complete and total sense. So like I remember seeing that, and I loved that. I love Sarah. Maria Bamford is still always such a huge influence.
Sure.
I really love Bill Burr. And Kyle Kinane is probably one of my favorites.
Oh God,
too.
He's way too good.
Oh my
he's
God,
way
he's
too
so
good.
Smart. He's so smart and so fun. And I think like my style is, I think I get a lot of influence from more of those storytelling long form comedians versus like the short like Emo Phillips or God, what's his name? The one-liner from Boston.
Stephen Wright.
Yeah, Stephen Wright.
Sure.
I mean, I respect that, but it's like it's not. I don't connect. I always liked comedy that could like connect with the person. And yeah, like Ali Wong's special was so great, and just watching that, I was like, oh, I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I need to see that. I do need to see that, actually.
Oh,
There's so much good shit on Netflix, honestly. There's a lot of
good.
great comedy.
I had to cleanse my palate because I watched someone else's special. Another lady's special.
Oh, no.
I got 10 minutes in, and I was like, I can't. I'm trying to be supportive of women.
God, I'm trying so hard to the wheels are moving. I'm like trying to figure out who it could be.
You'll figure it out.
I'm sure it will. So let's. I always do this, so I have to ask you, why would you recommend listening to Tubby Boots?
Why would I recommend listening to Tubby Boots? Well, first of all, Tubby Boots is you and me. Tubby Boots is all of us. His name is Tubby Boots, and he's such a weird-looking person. And look, it's not the most fun comedy album you've been on. It's not a ride, but it's a good glimpse into history, and then to the hustling side of comedy.
Absolutely.
That not all stand-up is fame and riches.
That's true.
And your own Comedy Central specials, which I have, and and TV and film movies. Sometimes it's working the circuit.
Yeah.
And I think people forget about the circuits.
That is true.
There are circuits I didn't even know existed. And people work them, and they make a lot of money doing it, and they're content with that being their work.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't discount it on that level. You discount it all you want once you hear it. But you can't
hear
discount it on
like,
a basic.
Oh, this is shit. And I'll be like, yeah.
But it's still a hardworking art. One assumes hardworking. And, well, okay.
I'm
so
sure Tubby Boots was a hard worker.
I'm sure. It seems like it. Now, do you have anything coming up urgently where I should release this soon, or?
Well, my comedy album is out.
Yes.
It's called Jay-Z's new album,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get it on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a month, I will be shooting my first Comedy Central special.
Awesome.
The half hours, which is very exciting. And yeah, and then I'll be in May. I'll be in Vegas for the Crapshoot Comedy Festival. And then in beginning of June, I'll be in San Francisco for the Clusterfest
Awesome.
Comedy Festival. So
Do you get to name your Comedy Central special, or is it just your
it's
name?
just called The Half Hour.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Half Hour Presents, I think. Or it's like,
Mm-hmm.
they kind of renamed it. They put like a the in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be, and I'm shooting it on the 21st.
Mm-hmm. Is it here or elsewhere?
It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That sounds like fun.
It's super. I'm so pumped.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
How about Twitter?
Jenny Zigrino. Everything's Jenny Zigrino.
Easy enough.
I make it easy for people.
Well done. That is not always easy. Yeah. I do it the wrong way. I do my first initial and last name like it's a fucking bank email. It makes no sense. I'm an idiot.
Underscores everywhere.
Yeah, luckily I got around that, but I still like why it's a long story. Well, thank you for introducing me to Tubby Boots.
Thank you. Thank you for the Whoopi Goldberg record.
Yeah, of course. I hope you enjoy it. I think it's a lot
it.
of fun. It's not like I said, it's not like stand up, but it's so much fun to listen to. Just she's kind of heartbreaking in some of it.
Oh,
she's
but I
so
like
good.
that.
It's so good. Like good kind of heartbreaking. It's a good album.
I like anyone that can like weave a story. That's the thing too with Baby Cobra is it's a whole narrative.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good album. That's a
Complex.
good comedian who can make that hour narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's
That's
great.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you guys for listening. And as always, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klamm. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. Please visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, and if you like us, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can find us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl, Twitter @comedyonvinyl, and find everything else at comedyonvinyl.com. A major portion of Comedy on Vinyl has been underwritten by Stand Up Records. Please visit standuprecords.com for all your comedy needs and tune into the new Stand Up channel available on the Roku, where you can also find select episodes of this podcast.